Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Gabby. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I am okay. Thank you. Sorry for the lateness. I arrived recently. Yes.
Oh, don't worry.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay, Gabby. So let's go to the platform. And I remember that today we had to start with this, I think. Give me a second. The last unit, right? So, okay. Well, yes. So the last unit, as I was telling you, it is more a review of some grammars, okay? So in this part, for example, the first review that we have, it is the adjective clauses. And it is recently the grammar that we already saw, I think Monday or Tuesday. But I will show you my screen in order you to can remember. Okay. Can you see my screen, Gabby?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so as we were seeing this grammar, okay, we saw this grammar before where we have these adjective clauses. For example, the two, we saw only two ones. The first that we said that we're gonna use only for people, and it was who, that, who, that it is formal, and that it is like informal, right? But we always use for people when we want to make descriptions. So the second one that we saw, it was which, or that, the same. And this adjective clause, we said that we only have to use with things, right? So we only saw these two ones. The other one that we have to see now, it is where, okay? Where that we're gonna use when we talk about places. And the last one, that it is when we talk about time. Okay, so we're gonna see these four, okay, these four question words, but not as a question. So these words, we're gonna use it as a adjective clauses in the middle of the sentence to make descriptions, okay, to make some descriptions about people, about things, about places, or maybe about time, okay? For example, if I ask you, how could you describe Cochabamba, for example? What could you tell me? What is Cochabamba?
Cochabamba is a city of Bolivia. Cochabamba has a warm weather. And I don't know, it's a valley.
Yeah. Okay, so you are describing, right? But when we, how could you describe using the relative clause or the adjective clause? For example,
Okay.
where?
Cochabamba. Cochabamba is the city where Universidad del Valle is. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's okay. Mhm.
it's okay because you are specifying about a place that it is in
Mhm.
Cochabamba, right? Perfect, it is okay. So now I will share you this another one. Okay, give me a second. Instead of this, this. When we saw about relative clauses, that it is the other name, okay, we have two ones as a meaning or definition. The defining or maybe the non-defining. In this case, for example, in the platform, it is not necessary to see which is defining and which is non-defining, for example. We don't have those definitions in the platform, okay? But it is necessary for us, for example, as a definition, which are defining and which are not defined. So here we can see some examples or some definitions where when we talk about defining clause, we are talking about who. Why? Because we are specifying the person who is making the action. Okay, and if we talk about non-defining, we are talking about like which, where we use extra information, but we don't know exactly where it provides. Okay, so I live in London, which has some fantastic parks. But in this part, for example, I have extra information about London because it says that I have fantastic parks, but it is non-defining. Why? Because this information, it's not enough for us, okay? We don't have something clear. And here it is defining. Why? Because in the example says, I like the woman, but who is the woman? Who lives next door. So I have more information about this. We don't know obviously exactly which or who is the woman, but with this information, I have like more information, okay? So that is the only thing. So after this, you are gonna see that between related with relative pronouns, we're gonna have the same that we were seeing before. Who for people, which for things, that could be for both people and things, where for places, and when for time, okay? So when we want to use, for example, with people, I'm looking at secretary who can use a computer or that can use a computer. Both are gonna be okay. Okay, so the same here, we have more examples. Now, what happens when we want to use, for example, with non-defined, where we don't have a specific information? My boss, who is very nice, lives in Manchester. Okay, here I have like two complements. And instead of this, I can have more than two. I can have three or maybe a paragraph describing the people, okay? So here we have this. Now, what happened with these prepositions? We have some prepositions like this, listen to, work with, okay? These are prepositions that comes very frequently when we talk about relative clauses. For example, here, the music is good. We are talking about the music. Julie listens to the music. We have to know that always listen is going to work with to. Okay, so always they are gonna be together. The music, so I'm gonna join these two sentences? The music that Julie listens to is good. So here, after to, it's not necessary to have another adjective, for example, or noun. Always has to be next to listen, okay? So the same happens with work with, instead of the sentence finish there, because these are prepositions that can't be separated, okay? Until here, about these prepositions, do you have some question, Gabby?
No, it's fine.
Perfect. Yeah, just in case, I will send you the document in order you to have this list, okay?
Thank you.
So this is another relative clause, okay, whose. And we're gonna use this whose when we talk about possession, okay? The meaning in Spanish, cuyo. So for example, the dog is over there. The dog's, okay, so its owner lives next door. How I'm going to join this? It's because I'm talking about the dog that belongs to this owner. So the dog whose owner lives next door is over there. Okay, so it's not necessary. So first I will put the sentence the first, and here is going to be my relative clause. Not always is going to be in the same way, okay? We can move all the sentence in order to have a sense, okay? But this is with whose. The little girl is sad. The little girl's, her doll was lost. This is the reason why she is sad. The little girl whose doll was lost is sad. Okay, so this is the other relative clause that we have, that it means cuyo. Okay, but only when we talk about possessions.
Okay.
Is for places, where, for time, and why we can use for giving reasons. So for places, I live in the city where I study. Okay, so I'm using in the middle, and I use where here because I'm talking about the city. Okay, or for example, Cochabamba is a city where you can live, I don't know, comfortable, okay? So when, for time, the summer when I graduated from university was so long and hot. In this case, I'm talking about the time. The time is summer, right? So these are the other relative pronouns that we're gonna add, okay? Not only who, not only which. We're gonna add where for places, when for time, whose for possession, and why for reason, okay? So here you have some examples, some exercises. So if you could do it, it's gonna be okay in order to, we can clear up some doubts, okay, Gabby?
Okay.
So I will send you right now, and we're gonna go to the platform. I will, yeah, I will assign you. Okay. Okay, it is assigned.
Okay.
Okay, yes. And yesterday I had to send you this about passive voice. I will send you both. Okay. Perfect. So let's go to second. Perfect. Any mistake? Maybe did you have some doubt about something?
No, I was just doubt. I have a doubt here because of the When it was because of the plural, but it's then I figure out that it's the same thing with singular plural with who
Yes,
in the
yeah,
case of people.
yeah. The same is gonna happen when, for example, if you have many places, where it's gonna be only just for both singular and plural. Okay,
Okay.
great, perfect, Gabby. So now the second grammar. The second we're gonna do it tomorrow. And let's
Okay.
do this, the third review of phrasal verbs, okay? So let's go to the phrasal verbs 1, the review. So let's see if we remember. Maybe you can find separable phrasal verbs or maybe inseparable phrasal verbs. So it depends on the sentence, okay? Let's see it. Excellent, great. Perfect, any mistake? This, the next. Okay, here, completing.
Mm. Mhm. So I enjoy. Mm. Mm. Turn out. Turn out. Mm. Turn out. Mhm. Drop by, drop. Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, here I think it's the meaning, right? The
Yes.
meaning of
Mhm.
some phrasal verbs. Well, in the first one, clear up, it's, for example, better if we use it in the third mistake. Why? Because of course, it was all just a big misunderstanding. And
Mhm.
Talia was able to clear it up, right? So clear it
Mhm.
up, it's like despejar sus dudas, like, right? So entender, for example. And
Mhm.
in the first one, it's better the second mistake. After the
Mhm.
third, finally
Came
came
out.
came
Mm.
out about Nick, right?
Mm.
Yes, came out, told and got an exclusive interview with him. Yes, came out.
Mhm.
And the last one dropped. I think it's well, it's the last, the only one, right? Instead of came out.
Mhm.
So he dropped by to
To
see
see
her
her.
today.
Mhm.
By. And in the last one, it's missing one. It's missing one.
Although that clear up came out from by
Which is
one.
keep down. Turn
Turn out.
out. Yes, yes, turn out. It looks like everything has turned out just fine. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Came out. He dropped by to clear it up. Okay.
Yes. That's much better. Better.
Okay.
Excellent. So, yes, in phrasal verbs, we have to just study the meanings, right? The meaning of those lists. But that's the only thing, okay? So, tomorrow we are gonna finish with the last grammar. That is not a review. It's like an extra grammar that we have. And it is not so long, okay? Auxiliary verbs
Okay.
with emphasis. So we're gonna see a little bit of emphasis. Okay, so
Okay.
yes, today we're gonna just finish here. Okay, and I already sent you, Gabby, to your WhatsApp, okay, the document.
Yes, I received it. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, Gabby, so see you tomorrow. Take care a lot. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. Take care, a lot too. Bye bye.